Ok, muchachos. Buenos días a todos. Vamos a comenzar con la retroalimentación del quiz anterior. Eh, Posterior pasamos al Student Book. All right. Okay, so I will share my screen. This was the mark uh, of one of your classmates. It was the highest score. Okay, so it was 90%. There were 27 correct answer from 30. So, okay, in the first question, this was the this was the this was the content. The exam gave us definitions, so we needed to identify the correct phrasal verb. As one of her partners mentioned, there was one letter was incorrect. In this case was keep on instead of keen, right? This was a mistake at the moment to type the answer. In the second one, be very careful is watch out, okay? You can find it in your student books, okay? The following is stop walking, break down. Same situation, you can find it in your student book. Live on a trip, set out. And here we need to complete the line, okay, with the topic. The topic was about enough, not enough, okay, too old, safe enough, okay. So the correct answer here was not old enough because the sentence was talking about someone referring to the person is not an adult, okay. It wasn't an adult. In number 6, same situation, you need to complete. It was about too unsafe, so the correct answer here is too dangerous. Okay. Number 7, this is the order. So we need to find what is the correct answer in the same order. So infancy is for learn to talk, adulthood, get married, old age, stop walking, childhood, learn to read, and adolescents, finish their education. Okay. Others were not possible because of the quantity and the order of the definitions. In the following, there were 2 answers, right? If you can remember, this is about present perfect. Didn't is not present perfect. Hasn't is present perfect, but it was with a different structure. Okay, the correct structure is hasn't been. And it was repeated verb. So the correct was this. In this same situation, present perfect, so this, and this, they are not present perfect. So the only answer is this. In number 10, I can get in the house. I, same situation, present perfect, have lost. This is not possible because the pronoun is I, so we cannot use has. Haven't, well, it's impossible because this is a situation real, so this is not negative. And lost is because it's not part of the tense of the situation. In number 11, present perfect has lived, so all of the others were possible options. Here, have been is the correct answer. Never is in the middle, so had is not possible. Gone, neither. In the following, it was okay. This is interesting. I had to grade person by person to discover what was the inconvenience or what was the spelling mistake, and there were some little details about this. Okay, if you put money and the money, well, I can give you the point because it's not part of the topic. But the most important thing here to get a point was this. Is collected, not wasn't, not was, not have, not had, not gone. Okay, the only answer is collected. Okay, so it doesn't matter if here you put by John, by whatever, or you admit it. Okay, if you admit it, it doesn't you don't have a problem with this. Same situation in the first word. If you put money at the money, I correct the mistake and I get a point. I put the point so you get it. Okay. So for that, I have to grade each answer. Okay, so you can get the correct score. Okay, but this is the expected answer. Right. The money is collected by John. Okay. In the following, same situation. The window or window, well, okay, doesn't matter. But the correct point is opened. If you put is open, you get a point, okay? If not, you will use other verb, other tense, it's impossible, okay? Because the topic is passive voice in present, okay? The following, homework is done on weekends, same situation. Is done, the answer. Okay, so you put our home, just home, the home. Well, okay. By us, by whatever, same situation. You can get the point. Here, picture is cut out. Well, here I cannot give the point, okay, because the verb was an auxiliary, not an auxiliary, a modal, okay. So you use can, you have to keep can as a part of the passive voice, okay? So the picture can be cut out by him. It's completely different to pictures is cut out, okay? So when you have modals, you have to keep the modal, okay? So for that situation, you lost the point, okay? Here you have William will not repair the car. This is one of your partner, sorry, mentioned that it was a different tense. So for that, it doesn't matter if you get or not the point. I'll give you the point. Okay. Yes, because part of the content was not include the future in passive. So for that, I will give you. It doesn't matter if you get or not the point. Okay. So all of you have a point here in the 17. In the number 18, okay, sense was the first answer, and will try was the second. What is the topic of this? Conditionals, okay? So real conditional means that you have to use present in one of the sentences and will in the other, okay? The following, this was a negative, so you cannot use will, so you use won't. And same situation, you have used present in the second part of the sentence. It doesn't matter with this first and with this the other, okay? You have to keep both the order you decide. In the question 20, it was order conditional. Don't arrive is part of the conditional, is present. So the order is will. Check how the answers were incorrect in the others. Why this is impossible? Because they use don't in present and arrived in past. So it's impossible. Don't arrives is impossible because you're using didn't as a past auxiliary, okay? And arrives is in present, so it's a completely mistake. Didn't arrive, well, it's okay, but this is won't miss. So it was a negative, the second part. So you have to was crossing the mistakes. So the only answer was don't arrive, will miss. In the question 21, will send and give. So if you check, will send was part of the sentence and give was part of the sentence. So the only thing that you had was identify. You didn't need to complete it. So it was piece of cake, and there were many people that lost this point because you didn't read it. Okay, you just guess what is the answer, but the answer was given. So you only need to identify what is the part of the sentence and select it. Okay. In question number 22 was desperated. There were people that mentioned desesperated, but this is not English, right? This is a bad Spanish. So desperately is the correct part of the same equivalent in Spanish, right? In the order was, he asked her quickly was the answer, okay? Here was a mistake, okay? The correct answer was loudly. So if you put loudly, I correct the mistake and I get a point, okay? So it doesn't matter. Why? Because in here, I don't know why the page wasn't charging. It was not working well that day. So I think many of the options were moved. So, but at the end, you get a point. So this is not a problem for the exam, right? And the question 25, well was the correct answer. Many people put fast badly, okay? So well is the correct, in this case, adjective or adverb. In question 26, quantifiers. This is that word summarize all of the how much, how many words. Question 27. I'm sorry, but there's no milk. Is black coffee okay? No is the answer. Why cannot use any? Because any is for questions. Some is for positives. And much, well, even though milk is not countable, you had a negative sentence. So much is not negative, it's just a quantifier. Okay. In 28, why no is not an answer? Because potatoes are positive. Any is for question. This is not a question. Some was the correct answer, and much, well, it's impossible because potatoes is something countable. 29, can we have 2 more coffees, please? Much is impossible because this is quantifier. Many, well, but you use this in question. Okay, could be many. If you put many, well, could be a possible situation, possible answer. But if you use many, it's unusual, you know? It's like you are with a visitant and you use, can we have too many coffees? You're using 2. So you're using a numeral, you cannot use a many, right? So it's quite strange. So the correct answer is more. And finally, the question 30 was a lot of. Because a lot of is a quantifier used for positive situations and were countable things. Tomatoes were in an affirmative answer, an affirmative sentence, sorry, and they were quantifiers. So any is impossible. So much, same, much, not. A lot of, okay? So for that, if you get a score, you have to use a rule of 3, right? So there are 3 answers and the score is 100, okay? So if you have 3 mistakes, you get 90 points. You use 6 mistakes, well, you get less than 80, okay? So even though you can say some mistakes in the evaluation, all of them were corrected, and you get the points if the answer was correct. Okay. So do you have any questions so far? Any question? Nobody. Okay. Well, the advantage of this, I mentioned in the last class, was that the third quiz is not a quiz. It will be a presentation. Okay. I'm not sure yet what are the points. Okay, so that you can take into account. But I promise that the next class I will give you the list of points to prepare your project. It's a short project. It's not writing necessarily. It's speaking. Okay. So I will give you the points, the topics. You can choose one. Okay, and you're going to prepare it. It could be something that you record, or you can be presented virtually, but in live. And so I can guess, so I can evaluate you according to the points and according to the 3 topics, to the 3 last units. And so for that, you're not going to present a quiz, okay? The equivalent of the quiz will be the project, okay? But I will give you more details next class, okay? Okay, if not questions, please open your student books and we're going to check the following topics, okay? We are in the unit number 10, okay? Unit 10. Did you have any doubt with the homework of unit 9? No? Okay. Well, so open your student books, please, page 124. So the unit is talk about preparations for a trip. Remember that these units 10, 11, and 12, I'm going to talk in English as much as possible. If you have any question, please raise your hand, participate, resolve your doubts. It doesn't matter if you answer in English, in Spanish or Spanglish, or I would prefer, of course, English. But if not, it's okay. Please participate, even though it is in Spanish, right? Other thing, if you consider I'm talking a lot, but not also a lot, I'm talking so fast, please tell me. I can keep going slowly so I can reswitch my speed. Okay. Okay, so is everybody in the page 124? I can see anyone. Please open your cameras. I feel alone. So congratulations, one of the partners of you got a really good score in the last exam. He was Sergio Arjona. He got 90 points. The mistakes were, well, considerate, but yeah, I think he gave a really good participation. Okay. All right. So please let's watch the images in the page 124. It says label each picture with the correct phrase in the box. So please watch the images. Okay, watch the images. What are the images are related to? What are the images related to? For a trip, right? Yeah, it's for a trip. If you go to visit any other part of the world, okay? So what do you do to prepare for a trip? Before traveling, what do you do? Before travel, what do you do? Okay, maybe if you go outside Mexico, you have to go to get a visa or to get your passport. There are many countries around the world where you have to get a vaccine. I had a friend who lived in the United States, and she wanted to visit India. So before travel, she needed to get a vaccine for any illnesses that appears only in that part of the world. Okay, India. So she mentioned the name of the illness, but I don't remember. It's something like fiebre amarilla or something. So she needed to get the vaccine. What's going on with your hair, Carlos? Did you paint your hair? It's something like yellow or white in your hair. Okay, so please now observe the words in the chart, in the blue chart. And now we're going to complete the images with the words in the blue chart. Yeah. I thought you paint your hair, Carlos. Okay, what about the others cameras? What about Eduardo, Luis Enrique, Sergio Ángeles, the other Sergio? What about Sofia, Miriam, Jesus? Well, and Rene is understandable because he's working with his cell phone. And Juan is because he's working with his cell phone too. Okay. Okay, before continue, I'm going to take the register. So today is May 29. Aguilar González.
Present.
Alcocer Medina. Dana Chay.
Present, teacher.
Arjona López.
Present, teacher.
Balam Hau.
Here.
Can Lara.
Here, teacher.
Cano Solís.
Present, teacher.
Canul Sosa. Contreras Gutiérrez.
Present.
Domínguez García.
Present, teacher.
Durán Mezquita.
Present, teacher.
Ep Chan. Echeverría Jushin.
Present, teacher.
Ekmesh.
Present, teacher.
Franco González. Okay, Franco is not. Moreno Esteban.
Present.
Velázquez. Quintal Chay.
Present, teacher.
Uy. Real Pozo Villarreal.
Present.
Toledano Quijano.
Present.
Ucán Aque.
Present, teacher.
Urrutia Córdoba. Okay, did you finish? Okay, let's check now. Okay, in the first one, what did you put in the first one?
Get a vaccination.
Get a vaccination, okay. The number 2?
Get sightseeing information.
Okay, get sightseeing information.
Get.
Okay, exactly, sightseeing information, good. Number 3. Apply for a, okay, not a passport, but apply for
Visa.
a visa, that's right. Apply for a visa. The number 4,
Travel agent.
talk to the travel agent. Okay, talk to the travel agent. Okay, now let's go to the following line. The first one is buy a ticket. Good, Julissa. The following,
Apply for a passport.
okay, here is apply for a passport. Then we have
Make a reservation.
make a reservation. That's right. And finally,
Check the itinerary.
check the itinerary. That's right. Yeah, check the itinerary. Okay, here there is a chart in white and blue. So this is expressing necessity. We use must plus verb in writing or formal speaking to say that something is necessary or is a rule. Example, travelers must apply for a passport at least 6 weeks in advance. Okay, it's something necessary. Then it says, use have to or need to in informal speaking. Use have got to verb for extra emphasis. Example, we have to buy our tickets. We need to get a vaccination. Jerry has got to make a hotel reservation soon. So the last one is stranger than the other two, okay? There are more emphasis than the previous two, okay? Okay, the following. We use don't have to plus a verb to say that something is not necessarily. This is easy because in Spanish it's the same situation. In Spanish you say, tienes que hacer tal cosa. Pero si tú dices, tú no tienes que hacerlo, it's because it's not necessarily. Okay, it's practically the same situation in English. Example, you don't have to buy a ticket for a baby. Babies can ride the train for free. So that means it's not necessary to buy a ticket for a baby, okay? In the last one, have to and need to can be used with different verb tenses. Example, we have to show them our passports. It's like an obligation, you know? And the other it says, someone will need to carry Link's bag. It's a possibility, Okay, if that situation appears, okay, we have to do it. Okay, but meanwhile, it's just to mention it as a possibility. Okay, and in the green chart it says word focus: a plane, train, hotel, or reservation, and we use a plane, train, bus ticket. Okay, this session will finish, so I will give you the other link in a second, okay?